I always feel like people overseas are a little bit more up on the more intelligent music or the more envelope pushing music or a little bit more open minded to art and the intelligence that comes from that. And is that just a romantic notion or is that true?
It's just different cultures, basically, you know, different. Now I think it's getting more and more bland, in a way. You know, the radios. You know, you have to,
Overseas too?
yeah, you have to fight much more to get, you know, some point across, or you have to build stuff for longer. You have really to build stuff to make it across. Well, I mean, you know, in England, you know, in UK, I mean, the whole history of music is so different from the US, you know, like electronically, you know, you can't compare it. So that's why it's going to be different, obviously. That's why we're going to hear dance music much more on the radio, you know, in UK and Europe than in America, you know, it makes sense, right? And what's funny is sometimes some countries dictate what the other country is going to listen to in a way on the radio. For me that's what I discovered is like the power of the UK. If anything from even America, like if a hip hop artist has his stuff played in UK, then he's going to have his stuff played in America, everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. And also in Europe, you know, if he breaks in the UK radio, this guy is big. It's something that's going to be in the chart in England is going to get then in the chart everywhere in Europe. That's kind of like, wow. You know, it's kind of dictates. So obviously, you know, you have alternatives radio, pirate radios in the UK that played a major role, you know, in underground music and spreading, you know, everything in the world because, because there's not enough alternative allowance, you know, on the normal waves. It's you know, it's Big Brother at the end of the day, you know. And I think that's for everything these days, for art everywhere, you know, it's getting more and more difficult to actually, you know, express an alternative way and views, and you know, collectively, you know, it's getting more and more difficult because, you know, laws, government, you know, whatever. It's just like you have to fight more for that.
When you DJ in other countries and then come here, do you find a difference in the crowd or
Totally
in the vibe?
Of course. I think the main difference between the US and Europe is the way people express themselves. Here you get down. You don't need to drink or, you know, take drugs. You get down naturally in the way that I think people here are not afraid to express themselves. You know, in Europe I think there's a mentality a little bit, you know, where, oh, how am I gonna look if I do this, you know? So you have to let loose and drink a little bit or take drugs to actually totally let loose, you know?
Really?
Maybe I'm doing generalizations here, but there's a main difference. I mean, people here, I think they dance without worrying about anything else. They just go for it. I think we're a bit more shy in Europe. That's definitely. Yeah. But then also it depends also what places, what cities, you know, what parties, you know, some parties you play at and it's like, wow, you have to fight or work your way to kind of like get the groove going on. You know, we're a bit more shy in Europe to like let go, basically, you know. I think it's because here in your culture it's like, you know, I'm the best, I can do that, you know. It's kind of like, it's part of your culture, education way. It's like, yeah, do it, just do it, you know, be yourself, you know. Yeah.
Closing down, just to let people know where they can hear you spin, where they can get some of your mixes, some of your remixes, your original production, blog, anything you want to plug, where can they go?
Where can you go? I've got a blog actually recently. It's called DJ Simbad with an m.blogspot.com. So, you know, sometimes I put little stories, whatever, if I'm on tour, you know, my dates, my charts. I do also a radio show on a radio called Deja Vu FM, or vulive.co.uk, on Fridays when I'm in the country, and I'm rotating with another guy called D Malice. Also, yeah, check this out. Yeah, there's another Simbad, from Argentina. We're different. The guy plays minimal. We're totally different. Sometimes people confuse, and I'm like, sometimes his stuff on like Resident Advisor all my gigs and my discography are going to this guy. I'm like, that's wrong.
No.
Yeah. And there's another band I think from Finland called Simbad, and they do folk stuff, so it's like nothing to do. But you know, whatever.
All right.
So if you really,
if it doesn't look like this guy, it's not him.
No, but I mean, if you want to find me, you can find me. Some, release-wise, it's some you can still dig some record shops. You'll find some tours maybe in the pound sections or in the dollar section. I'm on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it really.
The last question that I always end off with is for the other aspiring musicians and DJs and artists out there and listeners. Any words of wisdom or just things that you just want to tell them in general? Be
yourself, and we gotta work, man. We gotta work hard, to express things sometimes. At the end of the day, it pays. Somehow if you really do what's felt, it kind of pays. So don't give up. That's what I would say. Don't give up and be happy. Spread love. It starts in your community. You know what I mean? So yeah, good luck.